Everyone keeps telling me they want to see this car run and drive. The thing is, the car runs and drives perfectly fine. The problem is we live in Canada and it's winter outside. So I'm going to pull these wheels off. I'm going to try and throw some winters on there so we can pull it out of the garage and at least clean the garage and show you that it does move and drive. Oh, that's a sticky tire. You can see why radials are pro. So as you can see, it's not that the car doesn't run and drive, because it runs and drives perfectly. It didn't stall or anything when we took it out here. It's just that it's winter. What are you supposed to do when the roads look like this? The other thing, we don't have wastegates hooked up yet either, but... Dang. What up? We had to pull everything out so we could clean up the garage a little bit. As you can see, this car's pushed back, that one's moved over a little bit, everything's tidied up a little tiny bit more. And we do have the street bike here. So it's a 2003 CBR 1000 that we'll be using for our little Leroy project. So we've been talking about it a lot on live videos, but I haven't been talking about it much in the videos. I plan on building a little Leroy, like a 5/8 scale. We're gonna use a CBR 1000 engine. We're gonna use the 7.5-inch rear end out of that thing. And I ordered a bunch of two, so when that comes in, we'll start building that. Also in the shop, we have two aluminum 5.3s, both Gen 4. One's going in this car. One's a backup motor for my car. We plan on building it with Summit Racing maybe. And this one's also an aluminum 5.3, so we have 3 aluminum 5.3s in here. Wow, look at all the shit on the floor of these picked up. Look how sticky they are. What I want to do first here is I want to set up my lathe. We're just going to bolt it to the bench so it's something sturdy to bolt it to. It's going to make it a lot easier to work with. So this seems like a good position as any. And there it is, it's tight. We don't really have anything to put in the lathe right now, but the fact that we have a lathe is pretty cool. Now, I have zero experience with a lathe, and I'm gonna learn how to use this the same way I learned how to weld, and that's just by failing upwards. I'm just gonna keep failing until eventually I fail less. That's exactly how I'm gonna do it. So that would be the lowest RPM. Let's start there. Is this up? Oh, look at that, that's a button. Yep, that should probably make sure that these things aren't touching. Oh, that's why it doesn't work. When it's on this, it just means nothing, so. Oh, cool! This is the coolest, man. Having neat little tools like this is awesome. I did end up buying a bunch of little Amazon stuff here. This one I think is a tool holder. This one is also tool holder stuff. But I do have this piece of aluminum. It's not billet like I would like it to be. It's actually hollow. But I'm just going to jam it in here and see what we can do with it once I have it all set up to see if we can make a thing do a thing. As you can see, we just have the little piece of metal in here. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, but we should probably get this like close enough to get like touch, but not actually touch it. So it touched there. I'm gonna pull it off a little bit. I'm gonna turn it on. So technically, if we just go straight in like this, I'm sure there's a how come it's feeding backwards? It's like going out this way. I'm gonna have to figure that out, but. And that's kind of what it looks like at the end. Now, I've been reading some reviews on these things, and they're not the best for steel or anything like that, and probably not good for stainless steel, so I don't know. For little tiny bushings and stuff, that thing's going to be wicked. Wastegates. The next thing we have to do on our 8 turbo build. I plan on running 4 Black Sheep Industries wastegates. These are our own wastegates. Every time we release these, you guys always buy them out like really fast. We can't really keep them in stock, but we've got another 100 being built right now and another 200 on order, so they'll be back in stock any day now. But we're gonna put 4 of them on here. One like this, and then the same thing on the back side. It's gonna be a little tight on the back side though, but like this somewhere. And then one over here as well. We ran these things pretty hard last season, but I'm just gonna take them apart, check them out, make sure that they're good, and let me show you why they're unique compared to a lot of other wastegate. You can actually see that instead of a diaphragm, this thing actually has a piston in it with O-rings. This means your diaphragm can't fail anymore, so it's a billet aluminum piston inside of our billet aluminum casting here, and it's got a super alloy valve in it. And the best part is it's literally like half the cost of some of these big name wastegates. So a link is down in the bio for Black Sheep if you guys want to check it out. It helps me out, helps you out, and everybody gets cool looking parts. So obviously if we're going to run 2 into 1, we need to make a couple of merges. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start by taking some of our schedule piping here, and we're just going to start cutting some angles in it, hopefully. Make 2 into 1 merges, and we've got to make 4 of them. It's going to suck. Let's just see what our biggest angle is. Well, let's just see. Let's just cut it. This could be a test piece. So it looks like all we're getting is about 45 degrees on each cut, so it makes it 90 degrees, which might not be enough, to be honest. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna tack weld it up, and then we can like kind of shove it on the car to see if this angle is gonna work at all. Don't hit Gina's car. If this is gonna hit that runner back there, yeah, it needs to be way better angle than that. Okay, the only other thing is we do have some short radius 90s. So what I can do, because all these runners are basically lined up straight like this, short runner 90 on that back one into straight, and we'll do the 45 right there. I think that's the way we gotta do it. So we gotta get our 45 piece back. This is what we ended up with here. I know the distance between these 2 holes is 5 and an 8. That's what our runner spread apartness thing was. But if we take this and put it on the car, it'll fit together. It'll fit together something like this. And then we just have to cope them to fit around these pipes. And then see where it merges right here. We'll weld that completely. Then we'll cut it. And we'll come off that merge right there, and that'll go to our wastegate. And that's how we plan on doing all 4 of them. Just keep it really simple, easy, and in reality, we're gonna wanna clamp these gates shut and not open them at all anyways. Got him! All right, so it's gonna be okay to mock it up here, but we have to drill holes in our exhaust. We don't wanna do it while it's on there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this setup off, and once again, but once we put it back together, it should be, that's it, the final time. So we're just gonna pull it all apart real quick, and then we'll be able to do our work just on the mock-up engine over there. So this is the start to our wastegates. As you can see, they're not, like the holes aren't cut in the runners. We're gonna have a bit of gaps to fill because my coping is trash. But we'll cut off the corners here, and then we'll end up putting something on the end, whether it be straight or a 90 or whatever, and then the wastegates are gonna hang off the end here, and it will couple these two runners, and then so on and so forth. So I gotta build the other side here now, and then cut the holes out. That's gonna be the worst. Like cutting into the stainless is gonna be pretty tricky. And then yeah, looks good to me. Alright, so definitely not perfect copes on there, but I mean, being such thick metal, this isn't going to be bad at all to weld into. In fact, it might be easier to weld into because that's somewhere for our filler rod to go. But this is all 4 of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull them off. I'm going to weld these things completely up. And then once those are welded up, we can put them back on again. I marked them 2, 4, so cylinders 2 and 4, 6 and 8. And once they're back on, we can mark our holes, cut out our holes, and then put them back on and weld them. And then once they're welded on, we can cut the angles off and build off of those for our 4 gates. All welded up. Next comes the fun part, putting them on there, marking our holes, and then trying to cut through this big stainless, that's going to be the difficult part, I think. Because you can't use a regular hole saw, it'll just die. And drill bits, they kind of die as well. Needless to say, I'm kind of confused. Circle, circle, dot, dot. I got my cootie shot. That bitch is so hot. Get it? Because it's a song, I think. Of course it doesn't fit after welding anymore. What about the other ones? I don't know, it's weird sometimes in the garage. Because I have nobody to feed my ideas off of, I can just kind of go with what I know what to do. So there's probably a much easier way of doing this. I just don't know how to do it like that. There we go. Now let's pull this off. See if we can kind of drill into it maybe. Let's just see. That went better than I thought, to be honest. We should probably not like smoke out our damn drill bit though. Alright, we managed to get these small little holes drilled in this one with the step bits before they kind of dulled out. This one we got 1 hole saw hole built, and then yeah, the hole saw dulled on this one. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to try and take the grinder, cut out small little tiny sections, and then use the Dremel to Dremel out a hole. Like this 1 1/8", probably good for what we're doing because the inside diameter of the pipe is only 1.5 inches. So this is that'd be a lot for both. It's only got to divert a small amount of exhaust gas just so we don't destroy those turbos. Wow, it's a bit smoky in here right now. I did finish welding up one full header. So both of them are merged in there. The welds, some of them aren't the best. I had some gaps to fill. That's on me. My coping jobs aren't the best. But with this project right here, I was more concerned about function over how it looks, and I'm really ready to just get this thing on the dyno. We have to do the other one, but I think this is where we're gonna call it. Like I said, I'm just really ready to get this thing on the dyno, so I'm just trying to pound out the last couple things that we need to do for it to work, which is to put the wastegates on, finish up welding the exhaust, bolt it all back together basically, and then it's ready to rip on the dyno. I think our next video actually might be on thirst trap. Virginia has some days off, and I also have some days off where they line up. So we're gonna come out here, we're gonna get this thing prepped because our Team ZK member and front control arms and motor mounts are coming. And then our Brian Tooley Racing stuff is also coming for that car. So we're gonna start assembling this thing because we want that thing to be ready for spring as well. And you guys wanted to see me collaborate with Virginia more often, so she's gonna be out here. And now the thing is, we're not allowed to work on this car without her. So I had to start another project because this one's almost done, and that's what this CBR is for. So there's a CBR 1000, it's fuel injected, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and create a 5/8 size Leroy. If you guys see my live stream on my second channel, you would have seen me talk through the whole process there, but we're gonna scale Leroy down, 5/8, we're gonna build it out of DOM tubing. A couple reasons that I want to do this is, first one, I want to get used to bending and building cages. So what better way than to build a half size something that isn't too crucial, and well, I mean, it's going to be quick, but we're going to put the CBR in it. We're going to run a drive shaft from the gearbox instead of the sprocket. We're going to put the engine in the front, drivetrain in the back, twin turbos in the front as well. And yeah, it's overall going to be a fun project. We got to do it boosted because we're boosted lifestyle around here. And that's it. I gotta go inside. I'm getting kind of high now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Peace easy and get heavy.